Good evening and welcome to my kitchen. Masterclass Juniors, broadcasting on a Monday night. What is going on? So, it is World Baking Day, and we've been kind of building up to World Baking Day for the past couple of weeks, and we've been creating the most amazing bun recipes. And we have asked you to share your recipes with us. We've asked you to tag us in with Show Us Your Buns on hashtag and share your incredible recipes, your images, and in return we've got this amazing prize. We're going to draw it this week, so it is not too late to get your amazing bun recipe in. Tag us, like us, share it, and show us your buns, and you could win an amazing 5-piece Smart Ceramic Masterclass bakeware set, just the same as I use. I think mine are up here. No, they're not. Where are they? There. So, anyway, tonight's recipe. Okay, I've got some buns for you. We are going to do a burger in a bun. Yes? Hello? Little emergency little girl's room stopped. So she's here now. Have you washed your hands? Good. We're going to create like steamed buns. So, rather than bake your bread, we're going to steam it, Asian inspired. But we're going to kind of put little burgers in them. We're going to do some beef ones and we're going to do some vegetarian ones as well. But first of all, we need to make the dough. So pops 500 grams of self-raising flour. Okay, and then I want half a teaspoon of baking powder. Half of that. There you go. There you go. And then teaspoon of salt, pop that in. Right, I'll blend that.
I can do it.
And then you get the milk. And then you can make the dough, okay? So pour the milk in. Now you could use a plant-based milk. You don't have to use cow's milk by any means. You could use water if you wanted to. It's okay. So like the vegetarian version is actually, it could be vegan. You make a couple adjustments really easily and off you go.
Okay, I know. Okay.
There you go. Pop it in. So we're going to mix it together. Now, what you need to do is mix this together like a soft ball of dough, okay? And we're going to let it rest for 5 minutes while we make our vegetarian filling and our beef filling as well. Now, if you have any questions at all, post them in the Facebook feed and I will try to answer them straight away. Emily, our glamorous Emily, is sat over there controlling all the buttons and watching on Instagram. We are now on Instagram Live as well, aren't we? Still? Fingers crossed. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're broadcasting all over. So, anyway, a little bit more.
Let's get the ball a little bit of passes.
Yeah, pop it onto there so Emily can see it. You know she's in charge.
Hey.
Alright, so it needs to come clean from the bowl. Just that little bit more water there. And that will get that going. So you kind of bring that together. Now I'm going to talk about the vegetarian filling that we're going to do first, okay? So if I just move this over to here, can you just carry on mixing that over there for a second and then wash your hands when it's done? Okay? So we're going to make a vegan burger, okay? A vegetarian burger, sorry. So I've got some lentils. Can you see this all right, what's going on in here, Emily? Yeah, you're happy? So I've got some tinned lentils and I've just washed them. Right, and I'm just going to squeeze the last little bit of water out of there because I've washed them. Water is your enemy when you're making a vegetarian burger, okay? You don't want any water in there because it'll just go soggy. I think a really good veggie burger is about trying to replicate that texture, you know, rather than, I think we've all had these veggie burgers and they just disappear to nothing. And you need a bit of bite in them. So we've got some cooked, washed, dried lentils there. I've now also got some chickpeas, okay? And again, I'm going to squash these up a little bit. My wife's vegetarian, so she's probably going to really like this recipe. Yeah. And then I've got some cumin, which I'm going to add in for a little bit of aroma and flavour. And then I've also got some black olive tapenade. So this is just pureed black olives, okay? In a little bit of olive oil, and it's going to give a bit more depth to it. And that's the only reason why I'm putting it in. I want that kind of depth of flavour. And then we're going to season it up. Okay. A little bit of black pepper. Have we got any questions coming in yet, Emily?
Not yet.
No, we've got a few people with us on our shock broadcast. Yeah, good. Any questions from you? Put her on the spot.
Is there any of the spices that you could put with this?
You put a bit of smoke powder. To be honest, if you follow the recipe, you can make whatever flavour you want. You could go Spanish, Italian, you know, you can go Mexican, you could go wherever you want with it. I've added some cumin. It's kind of lent towards North Africa, sort of slightly falafel-y, you know, Middle East, North African, that kind of flavour, but you could add pesto into it, and you could have pesto veggie burgers if you want.
That would be nice.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? You're a pesto fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually, rather than blitz this in the food processor, I'm just going to use my hand and I'm going to just squash these together, all right? Because texture, this is what we're trying to create, is the texture of a burger using plant-based ingredients, okay? So yes, Emily, you could pretty much play with flavours. Smoked paprika and maybe red peppers, you could go Spanish.
Yeah.
Pestos, sunblush tomato puree, you know, that sort of thing. You could do wild garlic at the moment, there's plenty of that out there.
The dough is done.
Okay, so let that rest, Poppy. And then what I want you to do is grab, I've got this sweet potato now, I've just baked it in the oven. If you just grab a knife, I think there's one over there, is there? Yeah? And just score it open like it's a jacket potato.
Okay.
Just do it here so Emily can see it.
Perfect.
Yeah? And then open it up, and I want half of it. All you need to do is squeeze it out. I don't want the skin. Okay? I want the inside in there. So turn it out. And because when you bake a sweet potato in the oven, it takes less time than a normal potato. It takes about 40 minutes. And if you just leave it to cool, the steam and the skin and the flesh kind of separate. And all you do is just cut it open, and off we go. So there we go, that was pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now what we've got is quite a firm mixture, which is good. Really, really good. Now, can you grab the flour, Poppy, in that cup, in that blue cup, and I want you to sprinkle a tablespoon in here. And we're going to do this a little at a time. That's a teaspoon. Yeah?
Okay.
Here's yeah. So add a tablespoon in first. And you do this a little at a time. You could use wholemeal flour. I'm just using a simple bread flour. And that's just going to sort of absorb some of the moisture. You don't want to add too much because otherwise it will taste floury. But just a little bit will be perfect. So one more please. I think we'll do. One decent one. That's it. Yeah, that should go. That can go now. Okay, pop that to one side.
Okay.
Alright, so the flour is going to swell up and absorb any of that excess moisture because there was a little moisture in the sweet potato. Okay, so let's grab a couple of plates. So we've got one plate there and we've got one plate there, so we can see which are the vegetarian ones and which are the beef ones. So let me just clean my hands and we'll portion these out.
And then we'll do the beef ones.
Yeah, in a minute. Right, so let's make the vegetarian ones first. So you can do this. Wet your hands so that you can roll them out a little easier. So if you wet your hands, it's much easier to shape these. Now you could use these as a little falafel recipe. You could use them as a veggie burger, you could use them as meatballs and just bake them in the oven and do what you like. Okay, so all we're doing is shaping, that's all we want, that size, not too big, because these are going to go in the centre of our steamed buns. Yeah? What concentration going on today.
Yeah.
So by having wet hands, yeah?
It's like,
only
it
that
doesn't
side.
like really stiff on.
Yeah, but it's firm enough to keep its shape, but it's not too dry. You don't want them really dry.
Just do it a little bit lower for me, please.
Yeah. So you got your meatball there, and just roll it in your hand, pat it down, and just try and get that sort of mini slider burger size. There we go, that'll do for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the beef burger ones now, Poppy. So if you bring that bowl through and place it where Emily can see it. Yeah? So if you unwrap that little OXO cube. So some of you will remember from last time when I did burgers, we actually grate an OXO cube into our beef and it gives real beefiness. Really bumps up the flavour. So I've got some minced beef here. I've got about 250 grams, so like half a pack that you would buy in the supermarket, so wherever. Plenty of pepper in there. Beef will always take a good amount of seasoning, okay? And then a little salt, because we're adding the OXO cube, which has got saltiness in it. Now, steady, half of that. We've got a plane here, like a really fine grater. And all Pops is doing is grating the OXO cube in. So we've got like a massive hit of flavour. And you can keep the OXO cubes like that in a little airtight container and then pop it in the cupboard for next time you're making burgers. Okay, yeah, go for it. Now, I've got a little bit of fresh thyme from the garden here. I'm just going to grab some scissors and we'll just snip it in because it's probably easier to do it that way.
Perfect.
So just give it a little mix together, Pops. Get all the flavours going and then I will cut the thyme and rosemary go really well with beef. And we're just trying to get the flavours going. You could use minced chicken if you wanted, or turkey, or pork, or lamb. The only thing with lamb is you have to be very careful because the fat content's high. And I would suggest you add a few breadcrumbs to absorb that. Otherwise you'll end up with very sort of soggy, fatty bao buns. Okay, and nobody wants a fatty bao bun, do they?
No.
Right, okay, so again, we're going to wet our hands, because that's what works best. You go and wet your hands as well. Okay. And when you do that, it means that they're all going to shape really easily. So you can make just nice little sort of marble-sized pieces. Just need to make a few Pops, because we've got some more cooking as well, so that everyone can see what's happening. So we got any questions today?
No.
No? Anybody out there sent in their bun recipes? No, not yet. We've had some good buns, haven't we, this past few weeks? Lemon ice buns, caramel apple strudel buns on Saturday. If you did not watch it, I would highly recommend going back in our Facebook feed and check out the miso caramel apple strudel buns. Very good. Right, you do one more and then we're good.
Oh, sorry, okay.
No, could you do one more, please, and then we're good?
Even.
Hey?
We'll be even.
It'll be fine. Right.
Oh, yeah, then it'll be even.
Okay, let's get some cheese, because we need, if you're going to have a burger, I think it has to be a cheeseburger. But that's one side, that's okay.
I'm just going to wash my hands.
Alright, okay. So, let's grab a little bit of cheese, okay? And we're just going to plonk that on top, like so. Alright? It'll all become very apparent very soon, I'm sure. Emily thought I was a little bit bonkers this morning when I said we're doing burgers in a bun. Not burgers and buns, in a bun. Alright? Right, do you want to cut little pieces of feta and put them on top of the veggie ones? Alright. Thanks. Okay, so let's take a little bit of feta. Feta cheese just give us that nice sort of creamy saltiness. It'll work really, really well in these buns. Okay. Right, so that can go to one side. Don't need that now. Just need that flour. And let's get, where's the best place to put these? Over there out of the way, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, can I have the flour? There we go. Right, so let's get this dough out. So it's just sort of had 5 minutes to rest. No more and no less. All right? Very simple dough. Okay?
Do you want me to knead it?
Yeah, you have a quick knead then. So just give it a little stretch.
Is it really soft?
It's gone softer than it was. Definitely 5 minutes changed.
What's happened is the dough has relaxed, so you've stretched it and worked the dough and you've started to develop and activate the gluten, and then as you let it relax, it just retracts and becomes a better dough for it. Okay, so, ready? Right, that'll do. Okay, so what we need to do is tear it in half,
1/2
tear it in half again,
Okay.
tear it in half again, just watch your elbow on that pan. Tear it in half again, and you want sort of about the same size piece as the burgers that you've made, whether the vegetarian ones or the beef ones, doesn't matter.
I need a little bit of flour.
There we go. Go and get the flour then from up there. Okay?
Strong flat. Oh, no,
Okay, concentrate on this. Right, let's get some flour. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our bun, like this, because Emily wants to see this and she'll want to cut in. So we're just taking the ball of dough and pressing it with our hands. Press it down and then push it away from you and turn it at the same time. And we're just trying to stretch this out as we do it. Okay? So it wants to be about 1/2 centimetre thick. Okay? Yep, keep going, that's a little bit too thick. And then we take our burger, cheese down, okay? And then take 1/2 and 1/2 together, then take the other half, and we're going to make like a little money bag like that. Can you see that, Emily?
I can.
And then take the excess dough and twist it off and get rid of it. Okay? And feel for the cheese on the top, and then just put your hand down and roll it anti-clockwise. And it just helps bring it together, like so. Okay? Then we take our bun cases and we just pop them in there like so. Now, I've got a bamboo steamer here, and what I'm going to do is we're going to fill them up, okay? So, we've done a couple of beef ones, let's do a couple of vegetarian ones now, Poppy.
Okay.
Okay, so, let's go through all this again.
Don't we need to add some sesame seeds?
Not yet. So, we're just going to run our hands round the dough, like that, you see? So you run your thumb and finger and push with your thumb
like that.
and go round, like that. And it's just pressing the dough out, and stretching it and make it. You could use a rolling pin if you want, but I just wanted to show you a technique without the rolling pin. Okay, so it wants to be about 1/2 centimetre thick, Poppy. Yeah? You see how thin mine is? You see that?
Yeah.
And then we take our little veggie burger, feta side down. Okay? And then take 2 sides and bring them together. Take the other 2 sides and bring those together and encase them inside the dough. And then twist the excess off. And then pop it into your hand. That's it. Good. Give it a real twist and pinch it off. That's it. And then rub it between your 2 hands until you've got that nice ball shape. And there we go. Alright?
In case.
You do. Okay. So let's get one more in there. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some sesame seeds, but we need a little bit of water first to get the seeds to stick. Okay? So, dab a little bit of water on the top of each one and sprinkle them with sesame seeds, because when you have a burger, it's in a sesame seed bun. So we've got black and white sesame seeds on ours, just because that's what we had on the shelf. Okay, that'll do. Right, that's plenty. Okay, so what we'll do is let's just wipe this cloth down. Have we got any questions coming today or not?
Oh yeah, if we don't have a steamer, what's the best thing to use?
Now, you need to make a steamer. So what you can do, let me just clear this away, but they're really inexpensive, these steamers. They're not expensive at all. I'm just going to clean this. Just go and wash your hands, Popster. So, let me show you what you can do. Okay. So most people have one of these, which is like a cooling rack for cakes. What you could do is pop them on here like this, like so. Good question, by the way, whoever put that in, because it's a really good point. Anne. Thank you, Anne. And then let's take some foil. And then what you do is you make a little tent out of foil. Alright? But don't tuck the foil all the way under. Okay? And now you've got a steamer. Okay? But if you've got one, brilliant, get one, because they are really, really useful. But if you haven't, make one like this. So if I take these off here and they're just steaming nicely. Let's put a bit more water in there. Wait. And then pop that on there. Steam them for 10 minutes, okay? Now, if you are doing the beef ones, I would suggest that you have a digital thermometer, something like one of these, and it means that you can test the temperature, the core temperature, and it wants to be above 70, so they're fully cooked. We tested this recipe this morning. It took 10 minutes steaming, and they were perfectly cooked, weren't they? They were good. Really, really good. Now, before we open these lovely little buns, Poppy, ketchup, brown sauce and soy sauce. Want a nice barbecue sauce that's going to go with these, alright? And this is my Cheats midweek, super simple barbecue sauce. Right, I need a bowl. Grab me a bowl. There's one over there in the washing up. Okay. So.
I like this sauce.
You do like this sauce. It took me years to introduce you to it.
Just watch out for the bamboo steamer. We'll just move that out the way.
You want this out of the way?
Please.
Sure. Right, so you want 3 tablespoons of ketchup. There we go. Yeah, I'll hold the spoon, you do the squeezing.
Yeah.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Go. Same on brown sauce.
Okay.
This is I've made so many barbecue sauces in my time. 1, 2, bit more. 3. There we go. And then soy sauce, 2 soy sauce, dark soy sauce, I think, because it just gives that real depth. Bit more. 1, go on, 2. Now, if you like a more sort of Asian style, here you stir it, a more Asian style barbecue sauce, add a little 5 spice to it, add a little bit of star anise, but this it's sweet, it's salty, it's tangy, you know, we're getting the sweetness from the ketchup, we're getting the tang from the brown sauce, and then we're getting that little umami saltiness from the soy sauce. It's absolutely perfect. Put your little finger in and have a taste. Tell me what you think. Is it good? Right, so here we go. Hang on. Are we ready, Emily, for a little reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right, let's move these out of the way. Okay, move those out of the way. Right, let's open it. Is this in a good right place for you?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, open you go. So there you go. Look, we've got some amazing little bao buns. There we go. So everything is encased inside. Are you going to have a go? You going to have a try?
I want to know which is the beef one.
These are the beef ones.
I'll have that one then.
Okay, there you go. Have a little taste. I'm going to have a little taste as well. But you can see how easily they come out of the wrappers. Super easy. Super soft. Really, I'm going to cut mine open so everyone can see.
I'll just dip mine.
But you can see everything is inside. Alright? So there you go. Beautiful. Mmm. Careful. Maybe cut it in half like I did. There you go. If you want the recipe, go to masterclass.co website. You will find all my recipes there. And if you are going to enter our competition, like the next 2 days is your last chance to enter. I want you to share a recipe for a bun. Hashtag it, show us your buns. Like the Facebook page, you probably already do if you're watching this. And tag a friend in, let them know what you're doing. And that'll qualify you for a competition. They're going to draw it later on in the week. I'm going to be back on Saturday. Now, because lockdown is easing, life is changing, we're starting to sort of live again a little bit more. We thought we would change up things on our lives. So we're going to be back on Saturday morning at 8:30. So 8:30, you can get your cup of coffee, you can sit in bed on your Facebook, and you can see what we're going to cook. Emily and I have crafted out some amazing recipes. Really looking forward to showing you this amazing slow-cooked Moroccan North African lamb dish. We're going to show you how to make proper tzatziki, delicious. We're going to serve that with sweet and sour red onions and pomegranate, and we're going to make some flatbreads. And what we're making for dessert? Hazelnut, Nutella and hazelnut Arctic roll.
Maybe you want me to have a try of them.
I think so, yeah. So basically, it's a dinner party. So you can get your friends around for dinner now. We thought we'd create an amazing dinner party, 8:30 Saturday morning on Facebook. I hope you can join us then. But thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you soon.